All right, hello guys. I saw this question is always asked, so I wanted to see if I could address it. Right in front of us here, we have two different headphone stands, still in their original cloth bags. On one side, we have the Sieveking Omega headphone stand. It comes in at $150 about. On the other side, we have the wooden Omega headphone stand. I believe the top most purchased Omega shaped headphone stand on Amazon. And people are always asking which one is better? Is there a difference? Is there one that makes one $18 and one $150? And what's up? So I have them both unpackaged here. Let's see if first impressions will really give off which one of these is the more expensive headphone stand. And I've got some headphones here on my side that we can test them out on. Let's start with the one on the right hand side. Oh, watch that. So this one right here, it comes in a kind of synthetic fake cloth bag. I don't want to say fake. That almost says something, but it's a just kind of a, like a reusable bag almost. And here we have this headphone stand here. Just kind of looking at it, it looks like it's got a couple different plies of wood on the interior. It's finished in what looks to be a walnut. Everything seems pretty smooth to the touch. Nothing sticking out, no splinters. I don't see anything. Looking at the bottom, we have some pads here, some cloth pads that are adhered to it. Just kind of made of that, almost not the felt on the bottom of a moving chair, but still something that's not like rubber, but still should be grippy enough on a desk or some other flat surface. The interior feels just about as smooth as the outside, and the edges just as smooth. It does bow out just a little bit here in the turn, but other than that, I think it's a pretty solid Omega shape. It's a little narrow at the bottom, wide at the top, but I think that was kind of advertised on both. It looks like it's just kind of, I don't see a lot of, there's no rough parts for the most part from what I can tell. Okay, so that could be the expensive one or the cheap one. Next comes in a linen, feels like a linen bag. So we pull this off here. And this one is a lot lighter. I could say that, but these are two different types of wood, so I can't really say much to that effect. Less plies, it looks like, or maybe it's I'd say less but thicker plies on the grain here. Yeah, and this one is going to be cherry wood. So again, I'm not feeling any kind of imperfections in the wood. In terms of the size, they're both very comparable. I think this headphone stand on the right is just a tad bit shorter. It looks like there's no pads on the bottom of this particular one, but it doesn't seem to have any problem standing up. The sides are just about as clean as this other one. Now, if you couldn't tell by now, the one on the left is the Sieveking Omega headphone stand in cherry wood at about $150, $170, depending on where you get it. And this one is the wooden Omega headphone stand on Amazon in a walnut finish at about $18 after it's all said and done. First impressions, while it is clear to say that there's been a lot more, I would say, care put into the construction of the Sieveking model on the left. You can see the less plies and the fact that, you could just kind of tell by the bend. There's there's a little bit more material here, and it looks like it would have been harder to work, that it must have taken a little bit more to craft it. But again, we're always running up against that number. Is it $150 good? If the $18 just is comparable. So let's see how it handles some headphones. Let's see. I've got the Mass-Drop Fostex mahogany cups here. And let's see if I can get this one-handed. And that will be on the cherry expensive one. Let's see how those look in just a second. And on the right, for comparison's sake, we will have the Fostex Purple Hearts. So, let's see. So, we're comparing pretty much the same headphone in terms of size and fit and all that. So this should be a pretty apples to apples comparison. Now, if you're looking here, you see it looks like it's a pretty comfortable bend. It's supposed to emulate the size of your head in such a way that, it keeps them flexed out, but it's not going to bend the top part. On this side, it looks like right where it meets in the middle, let's just kind of throw them one on top of each other. It feels a little bit more narrow in the center, but that's really close. So again, it's not that it has to, so this one I feel is a little bit wider and kind of holds the cups just a little bit better, but is it $150 better? That's kind of for you. It's not like there's no branding on either of these, so you won't find any kind of label that says one is, the $150 one and the other one isn't. The only differentiating I could find is in the cloth bag. You have the Sieveking Sound logo. On the other side, it's just a plain black bag that you find a lot of stuff packaged in. The look of the cups on the wood itself, I tried to at least color match a little bit, just for comparison, since I couldn't get the exact same color in both of them. The mahogany looks great on the cherry wood. I ordered this specifically for that one, so hopefully it should look good. And on the other side, we got the Purple Hearts here, which don't look bad. Not on the $18 ones. It's really, aside from the fact that this looks like it's just it's got a natural finish, right? It's got a matte, no shine, no glossy kind of finish, and this one has, some kind of glossy finish. This edge is a bit sharper, and that one's a bit more round. I really have a hard time finding a true difference between these two headphone stands at such a degree that it's worth $100+ more. I know when it comes to audiophiles, you'll spend an exorbitant amount of money on things that most people say is ridiculous and you'll never need, etc., etc. But in this case, especially for kind of an afterthought almost to headphones where, it's really just something you sit it on when not in use, these two headphone stands will work perfectly well. I don't really feel like this wood over here is going to damage my headphones. It's not going to damage the cups at all. It feels a lot softer. It feels a lot lighter, so it feels more quality. But in terms of function, these are both going to do the same thing for me. They really, really are. In terms of looks, depending on the type of wood, this is almost not apples to apples. But depending on the type of wood, this does look a little cleaner than this one. But this one will get you by just fine. Really the only thing you'd have to worry about is you just know that you're rocking the $18 model and not the $150 model. But that's a personal choice and something you'll just have to come to accept in the future, I suppose. Let me just do a little comparison. Let's see. They slide off pretty easy. Of course, they're not really weighted to just sit there while the headphones are on them, which would have been nice, but the cherry is pretty soft. Okay. And for the Purple Hearts. Oof. Yeah. So that's just another comparison. I don't know if I would have got the walnut, it would have matched in the grain here, because you can kind of tell you have one. You've got one kind of thin ply on the outside, and then it's God knows what on the inside, probably. It has these pads. That's really the only big difference. I would say, is it worth it? No, it's not. But can you buy it anyway? Sure, I did. But hopefully this will give some people some idea of, is it really worth it to get the $150 ones? Why are people spending this kind of money? Which, if you're looking at this and looking at the headphones anyway, if you're asking yourself these kind of questions, you should hopefully have the money to be able to buy both of these and just be like, oh, it's fine. But if it's really like, oh no, should I save up my pennies and get this headphone stand because it looks great with the mahogany headphones? No, you shouldn't. Get the mahogany colored fake one instead because it'll work just as fine. Thanks for listening. Hopefully I'll have some more comparisons to some of these burning questions I'm seeing around in the future. But hopefully that addresses some of your concerns. Leave any more questions in the comments below. I've got both of these headphone stands, both of these headphones, and I'll be making comparisons to those later. Leave them down in the comments below, and I will get back to you with some insights. Thanks.